there was total religious freedom, even under apartheid. They never mentioned that. I figured it out myself. I said, wait a minute. You have the Hindus, the Hindi on the Natal coast. You have the pagans, among the blacks. You have Jews in Joburg. You have, there's no, that government, the Boers never said to anybody, you can't practice any religion. You had total religious freedom over there. And this phony comes back, and he was able to move up in the Episcopalian or Anglican hierarchy of the church. Nobody stopped him from that. Nobody ever stopped any blacks from worshiping. So, he's a liar. He's a fraud. The whole thing is a fraud. The whole thing was a propaganda campaign waged by the Soviet Union and their useful idiots here in the West against a good friend and ally of the United States and of the West, the Boervolk. And there's so many lies about it. It's just incredible, and people have to be educated about it.
Yes. No. It is education is a problem. Even South Africa, I hear when we speak and you speak, you've been misinformed because you're talking in a general terminology. And unfortunately, the Boers have never governed this country since before 1902. It has not been, because after 1902, the British controlled the country, and it became. In 1910, it became up to 1910, it was like basically military controlled. And then from 1910, the Union of South Africa was formed by the British, and the Boers didn't get their freedom. And then you had the 1914 so-called rebellion of the Boers, and of which Delaray took part, or was going to take part. The song Delaray.
Yes, we interviewed him. We interviewed.
Yes, I believe I heard the interview. Yes, but Delaray was shot before he could partake in this.
Oh.
And a lot of people say it was a stray bullet, but we believe it wasn't, because Jan Smuts, who's not a Boer, and this is another misconception.
That's right.
General Jan Smuts was a Cape Dutch. In other words, I can put it, he was an Afrikaner. He's not a Boer, because anybody that's not a Boer is an Afrikaner.
That's right.
But there's only two things. You see, General Butler, when Milner went to plead for the war in England before 1899, he had a governor put in place in charge who was a General Butler. And General Butler didn't trust Milner, and then he sent his own people to the Transvaal to investigate the so-called atrocities against the British people, and for which everybody was shouting for a war against the Boers, because they were maltreating the people working on the mines, the gold mines in Transvaal. And Butler's men came back and told him what was happening, and he sent an urgent message to the British Parliament and the Queen of England, but nothing happened, because that side it was all taken apart and just dumped in the dustbin. When Milner came back, he put Butler on a ship back to England, and they put him on pension. Now, Butler wrote and said that all these things are lies, because that is not. They want the country because they want the gold and the diamonds that were found in the Transvaal and the Free State. And but then Butler mentioned a very interesting thing, and he said the problems in the southern part of Africa is there are three white groups. The one is the British, and these groups can never live together. It is the British, it is the Cape Dutch, and the Boers. So the word Afrikaner was never mentioned. And the word Afrikaner is a political myth which came actually about by the politicians and with the British and the control after 1902 to take control of South Africa, but then to destroy the identity of the Boers. And they started slowly but surely telling us in schools and educating people until today, majority of people say, I'm an Afrikaner. But in actual fact, they're Boers. And the Boers have never governed themselves again. They've never been free. So,
well, did you know that Frank is an honorable Boer?
That's right. Play this. This is what Henry Pinkham said.
I heard that. I heard about that. I read about it.
You are a Boer.
You know what I was like?
Thank you. Bye.
Oh, here we go.
Dankbaar, friend. No, that's not it.
No.
Dankbaar.
Yeah, that's it.
Henry, how could I become a Boer?
You are a Boer already, Frank.
Thank you. Baie dankbaar, friend. Baie dankbaar. Ons vir jou, South Africa. Yes, I'm a Boer.
Thanks for playing that. I appreciate it. It's a very nice gesture.
Thank you.
And
I would like to.
go ahead.
Can you receive? Sorry.
No, go ahead.
Sorry. Did you receive email a few minutes ago, just when we went on the show?
Let me
Or
check.
don't you know?
I could check
Yeah,
right
we'll
now.
check the mail right now.
Why I'd like to do that is because, you people play a song which I totally reject. I don't accept it. I'm a Boer.
Oh.
I'm not a South African. I'm not an Afrikaner. And unfortunately, this is all misinformation. So if I could put the facts straight, and you can correct it yourself or find out more about it if you want it in future. But I don't stand up when the stem of South Africa plays, the voice of South Africa. I will not stand up for that song.
Oh.
That song is part of the captivity under which the Boers have been kept for 104 years.
Mm-hmm.
And that song came out of the Union of South Africa, and it was a compromise song. It doesn't say anything about the Boers, about our republics, about our struggle, about our life, nothing. And it totally rejects the Boer nation. And that is the stem that you people play as an introduction to Africa. I'm sorry about that, but these are the facts as a Boer, and I'm talking out of my heart and out of my knowledge.
Yeah, what do you use?
We have our own national anthem. The Transvaal Republic has a national anthem, Kent Gij dat volk, or Do You Know the People? Do You Know the Volk? And then the Free State has their own national anthem, F Burgers. I sent those two songs to you. Unfortunately, I cannot play them because they're on a MIDI file. And if you could possibly play those via your side, probably you could play MIDI files there. I don't know. And I also do not